You guys want to make honey in Grow a Garden fast, and I'm gonna show you guys how. So first, if you guys haven't already, you guys want to know about the honey update. Now, the honey update is a new update in Grow a Garden where we essentially have to give honey to the queen bee and essentially trade in honey for a numerous amount of things. You can get like items and all types of things. So first, if you guys haven't already, if you guys don't know how to make honey in Grow a Garden, first you want to head over to the beekeeper over here, and you basically want to give them a pollinated fruit from your garden. But you're gonna have to plant those. Obviously, if you haven't already, you don't have fruits on your garden. Well, you're gonna have to pollinate fruits. So here would be an example. If you want to go to your garden and see, I have a gold pollinated carrot. Obviously, my dragonfly made it gold, but you have a gold pollinated carrot. What I'm gonna do is you're gonna grab your pollinated fruit. And I could just do any. I'd probably do like a tomato. Yeah, I have a tomato. So I have a tomato here, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to go and give the beekeeper my pollinated plant. Now, the how do you get pollinated plants? You gotta basically just plant seeds in your garden for any seeds you probably have. You gotta wait for the bee swarm event. Now, the bee swarm event just ended. If you guys haven't already known, but the bee swarm event comes like once every hour, and it stays for like 10 minutes. And basically, what it does is a bee will constantly pollinate fruits in your garden. So you basically want to have a lot of plants on your garden so that they can pollinate them, and essentially that will get you to pollinated fruits. Now, if I advise you guys to get heavy plants, because you don't want to get small plants like this one, like the tomato, where it's like only like 0.77 kg. It's kind of lame. It's not gonna like do any type of damage. Like if you just give it to that guy right now, see, I have 0.76. That's nothing at all. It's gonna take you forever to be able to fill the bar. I have grapes here. I use grapes because I think it's like the one of the better ones, but there are better plants that you can use. Now, I use grapes. So what you want to do is you want to just give them enough pollinated plants to fill the jar. And what it does is after you finish the honey compressor, it starts. And before, it used to be 3 minutes, but now, guys, it's 30 seconds because of the new update with the honey bear. But basically, it's 30 seconds now, and now it's gonna just sizzle up for a bit. You guys can watch as it sizzles or compresses or whatever it does. But basically, it's gonna do what it does best, and it's gonna create honey for us. Now, I don't have a lot of honey on this account, but I do have a lot of honey on my alt account because I do make honey on my alts because I'm trying to get a sunflower for the alt. If you don't know what that means, it's kind of a method that I'm trying to do, to get the sunflower on my alt account so I can make money. That video will come out soon. But basically, as you can see, I've finished and I've collected the honey and I've gotten plus 10 honey. Now, what I'm going to use this honey for is to be able to trade honey. Now, you can get a lot of things with the honey. I mean, some of these stuff is like pretty useless, but I mean, if you want to decorate your garden, you can buy the cosmetics. And I don't really buy many of these, but I did buy them like once or twice because, like, why not? Like, I might as well just have it. But like the main things you'd probably want to do is get like the seed pack and like maybe the high fruit seed, because it's pretty average, it's pretty decent, especially if you're a new player. Like, you would definitely want these seeds. Like, you could just buy a subcolor and there's like 3 lavender seeds, and these are actually pretty good seeds. Like, this is like 10,000 on like one plant, like one harvest. So it's actually pretty good. Like, you should honestly buy these seeds if you are a new player. But if you're not a new player like me and you have like 30 billion, 30,000, whatever, like, you don't really need those plants. But that's besides the point. You can use it to trade. You can use it to get a lot of things. And one of those things would be the bee egg, which you can possibly use to get a queen bee. Now, I know you guys are watching this video because you want to be able to make a lot of honey, and I'm going to show you guys that in a second. So the fastest way that you can definitely get honey is, in fact, by doing these simple things. But I'm going to break it down for you guys and show you guys exactly step by step of what you actually have to do. So first things first, obviously, like I mentioned before, you guys need to have like some pretty decent plants. Now, I'm not talking about like just regular plants like the tomato or the carrot, or like I'm talking about like these specific plants like the beanstalk, the pepper, or the moon melon or like the moon mango. If you guys don't have the moon mango, it's fine, or the moon melon, it's fine. You can get the seed shot pets like the beanstalk and the pepper. But basically, what you want to do is you want to get heavy fruits. Now, the heavy fruits, why? Is because obviously the honey compressor only takes 10 kg and nothing more. So it doesn't actually give you more honey for having a bigger fruit. So if I put in a fruit here that's bigger than 10 kg, it's going to just compress the honey. If I give it like a 80 kg fruit, it's not going to give me more honey. It's not going to give me more than 10 honey. The max honey I can get is 10, and that's what I'm going to be getting. So what I would recommend you guys do is not to give it too huge, friends, but this honestly is a video on how to get the most honey. So I would recommend that you just give them pretty huge plants, but they have to be pollinated, obviously. So the pepper, the moon mango, the moon melon, the beanstalk, they're all huge plants and are always over 10 kg. So that's definitely what you want to do. So what you want to do after you get those huge plants is you want to head over and give it to the beekeeper, obviously, and get your plants. But once you make your honey, you want to go ahead and do these simple things. You want to go and buy bee eggs. Now, why am I asking you to buy bee eggs? Because because each and every one of these bees in the bee egg are actually very great. Each one of these bees always pollinate your plants. Now, after a certain amount of time. Now, the bear egg is probably the only one that doesn't pollinate. But aside from that, everything else in here, in this bee egg, pollinates. The queen bee pollinates, the bee pollinates, the honey bee pollinates. And I have all of them here. The bee. So the bee pollinates. I could show you guys right now what the bee does. Let me just pick up my useless stuff. But the bee here essentially pollinates every 24 minutes and flies to a nearby blue and pollinates, applying the pollination mutation. Now, the bee does that 24 minutes, and this is the easiest thing to get from the bug egg. So you have nothing to worry about getting anything lucky or being lucky. Like, for example, if you want to get a dragonfly, you don't have to do that because the bee is actually very easy to get from the bug egg, or the bee egg. And you can get multiple things too. Now, the queen bee does the exact same. That's the thing. Everything in here actually gives you pollination aside from the honey bear, which gives you honey glaze. But every 24 minutes, it goes to a nearby fruit and magically pollinates it. So everything in that bug egg pollinates it, which includes the petal bee, which I can show you guys in a minute what the petal bee does. If I know how to get that, the petal bee right here. Now, here's the petal bee. Where are you? The petal bee every 24 minutes, really, it's always all 24 minutes. So realistically, the time for these are not much different. So you have nothing to worry about. This is actually very easy on how to get honey. So it pollinates and it stays 1% chance for a flower type fruit to stay after harvest. I think there was one more bee which like leaves things gold, but I don't know. I don't have that, and it's not really in the bee egg, so I don't know about that. You guys can comment down below about the bee that gives like a chance to stay gold. I think I saw it in an announcement somewhere from Jandel, but that's besides the point. Everything here that I've just listed for you all pollinates your fruits. So you want to get those bug eggs. Now, you want to maximize your pollination for your farm. You want to get more pet slots. Now, I'm going to tell you how to get more pet slots. So what you want to do is you want to head over to this pet guy. This guy's he's pretty angry. I don't know what I did to him, but like he's pretty mad. But it's besides the point. It's probably because people come here and always request for a bug egg and it's never there. But what you want to do is you want to go to show me pet info, and you want to trade in pets for extra equip slots. Obviously, I don't have any like pets that are able to trade in because I don't have a single level 60 pet. But if you have not done this already, there's going to be a pet that you can get here, and it probably should start at level 20, and it's going to go up to level 30 to 45 to 60, etc. So basically what you want to do is you want to get the most pet slots you can possibly get. Now, I have 6, which is pretty good. That's like 6 pollinated plants at like every 20 minutes. And mind you, the pollination for the swarm event happens every hour. So that's a lot of pollination. And You need those plants. So to get more pollination, you have to buy more bee eggs. So you have to really much stack up your honey and get bee eggs every once the swarm event happens. So this is actually pretty easy because you now don't need it to be the swarm event to get pollinated fruits. And once you trade them in, you should be good. Now, there's one last thing you want to do, because that alone would help you get more honey. That's the best way to farm honey, is to first get plants on your garden, and big ones at that. And then you want to be able to get lots of pets that can, pollinate fruits. Now, if you have a lot of pollinated fruits like I do, like I have a lot of pollinated fruits, what you want to do is you want to download a macro. And I know this is not sketchy, but you want to download a macro. And with the macro, you're going to leave it on. I suggest you download stuff like TinyTask. I have TinyTask here, but you want to download a macro. And what you want to do with the macro is you want to record yourself going to your inventory. You don't have to do anything crazy here. Nothing crazy. All you have to do is just click and tap to give the honey compressor to the plant. Now, it's going to keep doing this over and over and over. So you want to go here, press E, or whatever you have here. You probably need a computer for this, because I don't think you can do this on mobile. But you want to use a computer for this, but you're going to give them the plant. You're going to record yourself doing it, and then what you want to do is you want to play it back. Right? And you want to obviously put it to continuous playback or whatever, but you want to set this macro up to where you're continuously giving the beekeeper plants so that you can get honey, and you want to keep collecting it and keep doing it over and over. Jandel did make this easy for us, because before it used to be 3 minutes, which actually incredibly sucked. So we literally had to wait 3 minutes. So I had to sit overnight doing 3 minutes of just straight honey. Now the grind isn't really that much, so even if you have filled your whole inventory with plants, it's gonna finish pretty quickly. But that is a way that you can now essentially make honey without having to actually play the game. But yeah, you want to have that macro on, and you want to just keep making honey. So this is actually a pretty efficient way of how to actually make honey in Grow a Garden. So that's essentially it, guys. That's everything for this video. Let me know what you guys think about this new update. I think it's pretty cool. I think I like the night event better, but this update is pretty nice. Let me know what you guys think about in the comments down below about this update. And if you guys want to earn a free raccoon, I'm giving away a free raccoon. All you have to do is subscribe and comment your username down below, and I will be doing a poll once I reach 5,000. So comment your username, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be doing a giveaway for a free dragonfly at 5,000. So you guys want to make sure you're a part of that. Don't miss out. I will be checking. Don't miss out. Peace.